which we've never seen in our history, the hottest August ever in the history of the state. The ferocity of these fires, the drought, 5+ years, losing 163 million trees to that drought. Something's happened to the plumbing of the world. And we come from a perspective, humbly, where we submit the science in and observed evidence is self-evident, that climate change is real, and that is exacerbating this. And so I think there's an area of at least commonality on vegetation, forest management, but please respect, and I know you do, the difference of opinion out here as it relates to this fundamental issue on the issue of climate change.
Absolutely.
Appreciate that.
Chad, please.
Well, thank you, Mr. President, for coming to Sacramento today and, again, taking that decisive action that we heard the governor talk about and really pulling the full resources of the federal government here to California as well as to other areas out here in the West. Let me just reiterate the great partnership that we have between FEMA, the U.S. Forest Service, CAL FIRE, OES, the governor's office. It's really the partnership, it's really a model that we have out here in California that we think is just fantastic. It's getting a lot of support locally here very quickly. So I just wanted to reiterate that and say thank you to our partners for what you do every day. Let me just say they also do a great job on mutual aid. So they pull in a number of fire resources from outside of the state, as well as country, for that matter. We were talking earlier about some international partners that they have here. We're happy to support that as well. And then let me just say thanks, as you did, Mr. President, to the brave firefighters and all the first responders that are responding every day to the fires that we see here. Those are the heroes of the day, and we're just happy to be part of that process, happy to support them with the resources through your office, Mr. President, and just really, again, look forward to the partnership we have here and continuing to push that along.
Well, they're doing a great job, and they really have over the years. It's a tough battle, but they've never let us down. No. Incredible what they're able to do, and the risk and the danger. Pete Gaynor, please, FEMA.
Sir, you're going to hear this constantly about the partnership. I can't say enough about the federal, the state, counties, tribes working together out here in California from the governor on down. It is a true team effort. And I know, through the major disaster decks and the FMAGs have allowed the governor and his team to exercise all the resources that the federal government has to protect, to respond and protect life, and that's the #1 priority. I know we're going to be working on debris removal, and then lastly, protection of the watershed to prevent follow-on disasters come the wet season. So together, I couldn't be prouder to be part of this team in California.
That's great. Thank you, Pete. Great job. Let everybody know what we think. Incredible job. So Wade and Tom, please.
Yeah, well, from our perspective, there is amazing partnership on the ground, and there needs to be. As the governor said, we've had temperatures explode this summer. You may have learned that we broke a world record in the Death Valley, 130 degrees. But even in greater LA, 120+ degrees. And we're seeing this warming trend make our summers warmer, but also our winters warmer as well. So I think one area of mutual agreement and priority is vegetation management. But I think we want to work with you to really recognize the changing climate and what it means to our forests and actually work together with that science. That science is going to be key, because if we ignore that science and sort of put our head in the sand and think it's all about vegetation management, we're not going to succeed together protecting Californians.
Okay. It'll start getting cooler. You just watch.
I wish science agreed with you.
Hey, well, I don't think science knows, actually. Tom, please.
So, Mr. President, if you're okay, I'd like to approach the map. And
yeah, I'd love that.
Okay.
Thank you.
And
Go
Governor,
ahead.
good?
That's great. Thanks, Chief.
So on my way, I'll just reiterate. But I wanted to approach the map because what this display is very simply is all of the green is federal lands, Forest Service, BIA, BLM, all of the agencies included, Fish and Wildlife Service. The yellow is all private land. And then that 3%, you can't really see, it's scattered out here, that's the state lands. But what we have showing here is the ownership and then the fires that we're currently fighting. All the way from down near the Mexican border, within 8 miles of the Mexican border, all the way into Oregon. So we've got 1,000 miles spread between these fires. We have about, in order to put line around these fires with all the partnership we're talking about, we have to cut line, scrape line in the ground from here to Chicago. So it's a lot of dirt we have to move. But
And why is that? Why are you doing that?
you have to put a line between the green and the black in order to put a fire out.
Really?
We do. So what we're seeing is in the south here, in around 2000, we had beetle kill that caused large fires, the Cedar Fire, the old fire,
Right.
the Grand Prix, huge fires in 2000. 2010s through the 15 time, massive beetle kill in this area and large fires throughout.
Well, those trees have died anyway,
They died
from the beetle kill.
From beetles, from drought.
so they were largely dead, or the area was largely dead in terms of the trees?
They died from the beetle kill, and now they're being burned up by the fires. Now we're also seeing here's the
Do you view
redwood.
that differently when the trees are dead and the whole area, because I know the beetle kill has been terrible.
Yes.
So do you view that differently? And now you're going to be clearing it or doing whatever you're going to do?
163 million, so it's,
Yeah.
boy, it's
No,
a
it's
hell of a
something.
job, right, to start clearing that out.
Yeah. So we focus
But those
around
trees are
the-
dead and therefore they're very flammable, they're
They
explosive.
are. They are. And so then we have what I'll call the asbestos forest, the redwood region. It doesn't burn more than a few hundred acres on occasion. With this year, we have 85,000 plus almost 60,000 plus these fires are getting into redwood as well. We're gonna have over.
So
100,000.
why is not, because of the thickness, the power of the tree, why aren't they burning?
They have bark that's about 2 feet thick.
And they're very
And
wet.
they're very wet. They're very resilient to fire.
Are you losing some redwoods or almost
Some
none?
redwoods are dying, but most of them will be okay. It's everything else that's getting.
No
huge
kidding,
damage.
that's something. I'd never heard that before. So with time they could go, but the fact is they don't go with the fires. That's a fantastic.
Yeah, and they're 2,000 years old in that area.
That is so incredible. Huh?
It's incredible to see.
Think of that, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the landscape.
So your giant redwoods are where? What area? The giant
So
redwoods.
we have coastal redwoods, and then we have giant sequoia, which is they're the biggest girth of a tree.
And they're in good shape.
They're getting burned, but they will also survive. Those ancient trees will survive. But this fire down here, the SQF complex, is
Will the bark regenerate on the outside eventually?
the bark will continue to accumulate on the outside, and then the tree will continue to survive.
Do you see a big difference?
Yes.
You see, will that change with time, where you don't see it? Or will you always know there was a fire there?
We'll always know there was a fire.
You'll always know.
'Cause
On the redwoods.
They get scars.
Yeah.
Over time. That's how we can tell.
Well,
how
that in
they're-
itself is a shame when you think, right?
Oh, boy.
That in itself is a shame. So that's an incredible story. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Mark, would you like to say something?
Well, Mr. President, first of all, thanks for being here. The term I use here is a term I use, one team, one fight, and it really does represent everything that you're seeing today. All the agencies that we're working with before, during, and then after these disasters occur. I couldn't be more pleased. Our partnership with FEMA has been fantastic. Right now, as you mentioned, you've provided a major disaster for 11 counties within the state, different categories, and many of the people who have lost things have already started to register with FEMA, and that's been really a beneficial support to
Right,
us.
right.
So we appreciate that. And the mitigation is really, really critical. Since 2017, we've done 94 projects, about $138 million worth of mitigation focused on fire prevention. It's a whole variety of different kinds of projects and programs within the wildland and what we call the WUI, the wildland urban interface, to try to buy down the amount of impacts that these fires are occurring. And so we really appreciate that. All these new fires and this new declaration provides additional mitigation funds, which we will turn back around and continue to support the mitigation
How many
efforts.
individual fires do you have?
I think we have right now actively about 29 major fires.
So when you add them all up, this is about as big as it's ever been, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, 1,100 just since, I mean, think about that, 1,100
Yeah.
fire starts in the last 29 days. but 29 complexes.
So
that are
we
the
all put
largest
them
we've
out.
ever-
Most of them are put out early.
making tremendous progress. The three largest, they're still active. Two of them are substantially contained.
Yeah.
The August, we have still a lot of work to do.
And Governor, if I could, just for the president, this is a bar chart that shows the acreage burned over the years. Top bar is this year. And the real scary part, Mr. President, is we're only partway through the season.
Right.
The worst fire that you obviously visited, the Paradise Fire,
was a
happened
bad
in
one.
October. So we're still, staring down the barrel of worse fires potentially this
We
year.
were there together. Let me ask you in Paradise. So did they have, it was like a blowtorch, right? Because the winds are 85 miles an hour. Nobody's ever seen anything like that. So that was different. Has there ever been anything like that in terms of the power and the heat?
Well, I'll tell you this, sir. The Creek Fire that the sheriff evacuated folks from is generating some of the worst heat in Fresno and Madera counties that's ever been experienced, creating its own weather cloud that almost looked like a mushroom cloud.
I see. So that creates the heat also. That's incredible. Would you like to say something, please?
Yes, sir. First of all, thank you, Mr. President, for coming and visiting California. And on behalf of Fresno County, who I'm speaking for today, I want to thank you for your visit. Beginning on September 4th, our Creek Fire started. It impacted not only the residents, but utility infrastructure that services California.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. That's a big problem, isn't it, huh? How is that going?
Progress. We got the largest utility in the United States, PG&E, out of bankruptcy in record time with
Good.
firm commitments to make sure we
Good.
never walk back down that path.
Good. That's a lot of utilities that are burning up, though.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So our fire right now is over 200,000 acres, and it's really more than any single local government can take care of. And so we are asking for assistance. And we've already made some progress today by getting a hold of FEMA, and I made a request from Pete to have a representative right in our command post, and we're making that happen. So that's going to be very valuable for us. Not only has it impacted our woodland, but the families that have lived there for generations in that area. The Big Creek hydroelectric power generating system that served California for over 100 years is destroyed, as well as the people that live there in their homes that operate that system. One major concern in the future is erosion, slope stability, ash runoff, and possible mudslides as a result.
So what's going to
of
take
this.
the place of that generator? What are you going to do?
We have to actually restart it. It's Southern California Edison.
So you'll be able to fix it and restart it?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, the process.
It's a big damage? Big?
Well, it was a hydroelectric plant that wasn't directly damaged, but there was damage leading up to the facility.
I see.
And so we'll mitigate all that now.
I love hydroelectric. I think it's great. You must like that. I love the hydroelectric. Go ahead, please.
So far, we've had over 300 structures that have burned, but we could have had many more. And I need to commend the efforts that CAL FIRE gave to us, not only with pre-work by doing some tree mortality mitigation,
Right.
but during that fire, they were able to cut some breaks that allowed us, law enforcement, to evacuate over 20,000 people from these areas. And so they just did a great job, and I am glad to report that in Fresno County, we've had no loss of life.
Right.
I will say that in Fresno County, we understand that we need a strong partnership with our federal government, and we are ready, willing, and able to be your partner on this. We support,
And your state government,
of
right?
course.
that's going good, right?
Of course, we're getting what
I
we
have
need.
no doubt. Good.
In fact,
We had to mention that.
of the areas that we've mitigated, I think in Fresno County, we got 5 of those.
So you're working
thank
well
you.
with everybody?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
good. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Please.
Thank you, Mr. President, Thank you, Mr. President, for being here and listening to a very rural community and county in California. I'm at the far extreme end of the state up there where they were pointing to. My county continues to repeat the things that you saw in Paradise when you were there on a smaller scale. The town of Happy Camp this year is under the Slater fire that took off, and in a 24-hour period, We lost 258 structures in a very small town. Half of my population is displaced at this point in time. We have 158 homes completely destroyed.
Will that population come back?
Sir, that's a tough question because these are very poor people anyway, and they're living through the downturn of the timber economy at this point, and there's very low employment in this area. We are completely surrounded by federal timber at this point that needs some active forest management that would both improve the economy of the area as well as even increase the water flow that is in shortage in California in some of these places. Personally, I'm coming to you as a forester, an elected official, and a past land manager for the U.S. Forest Service and firefighter.
Right.
In this area, I've worked with UC Berkeley and UC Merced on some studies. Our forests in the northern region, which historically have been pretty asbestos-like, are carrying 4 times the density that they did in 1930. So we have both the increase in brush in the wildland interface, as well as the lack of management producing these extreme densities. And climate changes, and I can't do much about that. As a forester actively managing that forest, I can manipulate fuels, and I can do that in a pretty short order. I applaud you for the work you've done. I applaud you for the Farm Bill authorities. Our county just completed a master stewardship agreement with the U.S. Forest Service, and we have about a 500,000 acre project that's ready to go across all boundaries in our state and the 4 national forests that within.
Well, Gavin's working on that with me, and you make money too. You're cutting down trees, you're thinning it out, and you're selling those trees for a lot of money, and it's really pretty good in a lot of ways. And I guess one of the things are the cuts, the big, whether it's 50 yards or 100 yards, but the cuts to stop it from spreading. And that's always tough environmentally, but they can do it in a way that's pretty good. And I think now the environmentalists have come a long way after watching this.
Yeah.
The ones that really want to take care of a problem, they've come a long way. So they'll be thinning it out. Then you're working on a plan to thin it out.
That's what the plan is right now. I will say that we have excellent working relationships with CAL FIRE as well.
Good.
And we need to marry the state programs with the federal programs across boundaries and jurisdictional boundaries so that we're effective in moderating large fire behavior.
Good.
And Mr. President, just to the supervisor's point, that's exactly what the stewardship partnership that we advance with your administrations will do in the next 20 years, is we're sharing maps, we're sharing resources, we're prioritizing, we're doubling the number of acres federally managed, state managed, and I will say just humbly, we've got to double it still, meaning the partnership was significant. It was first in California's history with the U.S. government, but we're going to need to do a lot more in the extent we can provide.
That's something I feel so strongly about. You can knock this down to nothing. You go to Europe and different places in Europe, countries where they're forest countries, and they're very, very strong on management, and they don't have a problem. They really don't have, with, as they say, more explosive trees than we have in California. So thank you very much for your comments. But we're working on that very hard together, and I think we're totally in sync. I really think we're totally in sync.
Governor?
We're going to see you in a few minutes for the award ceremony. So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Governor, if I could, just briefly.